Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here at Richmond International Raceway one more time this week. I tell you what, we've been camping out here for a few days, but we're here tonight with Real Sim Racing League. This is race number 9, and Landon Huffman holding down the fort at the top of the pile here. Guy Snyder right in behind him. But I'll tell you what, we'll get to that here in just a minute. In the booth with me tonight, we used to call him Batman, known as Convict Keaton tonight. Welcome Mike Keaton alongside with me tonight. And, of course, John the Bad Boy Westling. You know what? Some people call him the Legend. Others call him Magic Fingers. He's working the cameras for you here tonight. But, Mike, welcome for the ride tonight, bud.
Yeah, it's good to be back, JD. Felt like I've been gone for a long time, but I've been hanging out with you guys, and it's good to be back broadcasting.
I'll tell you what, you can trade that orange jumpsuit in for something a little bit more comfortable later on. Of course, we'll get to that here in a little while.
How about the ankle bracelets? Ankle bracelets,
yeah.
JD.
Yeah, and the ankle bracelets and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. We'll get to that here a little bit later on, teasing old Michael here a little bit. But I tell you what, last week at Chicago, let's talk about this for a minute. You know, Chad Cole led 61 laps last week at Chicago to take the big trophy home, and Landon Huffman, who sits at the top of the points this week, he came in third last week at Chicago. He led 24 laps, and so Chad and Landon leading the most laps at Chicago last week. R.J. Williams with a strong second-place finish, but it didn't come without some cautions last week either. But it was a pretty good race, all in all. But, you know, let's go on down through the points here for these guys here tonight. This is Real Sim Racing. Let them know who's who and who's where here, Michael, in the standings. And, of course, we just mentioned his name, Landon Huffman, finishing third at Chicago last week, guys. He's still sitting at the top of the pile, 304 points to the good side. He's got a couple of wins under his belt here. Strong top 5 finisher as well, sitting in second. And 16 points underneath Landon, finishing 16th last week at Chicago. Guy Snyder with 16 points off Landon Huffman, guys.
Yeah, and sitting third is John Gregorio, and Chad Cole sitting 22 points behind the leader, Landon Huffman, there.
You bet. Gregorio only 21 points. Chad Cole sitting just 1 point underneath that, Michael, 22 points. So might be a solid points night for both of those guys tonight. Now, Chad Cole won that race last week. Gregorio placed in the top 10, finishing 6th. And then Adam Roberts sitting here in the middle of the pile here, guys. Adam Roberts with a top 10 finish at Chicago, finishing 9th. He is 34 points off the lead. And then right under him is going to be Scott Brotherton, who was absent from Chicago last week, guys. 36 points off the lead, just a couple of points under Adam Roberts. So, you know, if Scott is here tonight, and I don't see him on the, yeah, he is here. He actually qualified 13th tonight here at Richmond. But Scott Brotherton just 2 points below Adam.
And John Abbott, who had a solid top 5 finish last week, sits 7th in the points. And John Higman Jr. Struggled a little bit last weekend, finished 20th, but he's still in the top 10 in 8th position.
You bet. And then in 9th position, guys, Joey Gattina, not quite the race that he expected at Chicago last week, finishing in the 19th position, 62 points behind the leader. And rounding out your top 10, Joseph Hayes with a 17th place finish at Chicagoland last weekend. He's 75 points off the lead. But Richmond Raceway, guys, Michael, a 3/4 mile track. What are some of the things we need to look for tonight?
Tell you what, guys, the brakes on these cars are very important, and some of these guys will admit that you got to have a lot of good braking at Richmond. That entry into the corners it means a whole lot, and you'll see some of these guys overcook the brakes. And what I mean by overcooking the brakes is this: they'll go into the corner braking, and you'll see the car start to snap loose a little bit, and them guys don't want that, and neither do we as fans. So watch for these guys to ease into the corners maybe, and then coming off the corner isn't so easy as getting in. you kind of run out of real estate out of 4 because the car tends to get tight. So look for a little bit of tightness off 4, a little bit of looseness into 2, and some wall. That wall gets a little tight coming out of 4 too. So be watching out for that.
You bet. Actually, coming off of turn 4, there are a lot of wall bangers that we were watching last night during the broadcast. So I'll tell you what, a lot of action going to happen here at Richmond tonight. 3/4 mile track, 60 feet wide, Cowboy. It's a big wide track, but I'll tell you what, when you're doing 150 miles an hour, it doesn't seem all that wide. Turns are banked at 14 degrees here at Richmond, and you know, just enough banking on the front stretch to drain the water off if it rains here. So, but I'll tell you what, just a couple of minutes out here from the startup down here, I want to take a look at the qualifying order here. John Gregorio putting it on the pole tonight with a 21.098, guys. David Lanza going to start on the front row right outside him with a 21.143. And picking up the trophy last week, Chad Cole, he'll be starting in the second row on the inside. I'll tell you what, we'll get to that here in just a little while. 160 laps on the board here at Richmond tonight, and we're expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of about 8 to 10 cautions. That's what we've been seeing all week long here in Richmond, but hey, only time will tell. Right now, we're going to take it on down trackside. The Cactus Cuties are standing by to present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, and we are back live, and thank you to the Cactus Cuties for that wonderful rendition of the national anthem. But, Michael, let's take them on down through the lineup, starting on the pole here. John Gregorio on the inside in that number 23 machine. On the outside him in second place is going to be David Lanza in that 33 car.
Starting on the second row in that 17 machine, Chad Cole. Outside him, John Abbott.
Jeff Addison, he'll be starting in the 5th position in the 94 car. Chalmers Parker in that 41 machine on the outside in 6th.
Starting 7th, John Hickman Jr. and Kayla's own Eric Arnold sitting 8th.
Nathan Bowers, he'll be starting 9th tonight on the inside in that 85 machine in the 44 car. Starting 10th on the outside, Rob Bowling.
Starting 11th tonight in 83 machine, Jay Horton. Outside of him is Doug Roth.
Joey Guttina, he'll be starting 13th tonight in that number 14 car. On the outside, Scott Brotherton in 14th in the number 3.
I'll tell you what, Guy Snyder is sitting looking at starting 15th, but they brought his car behind the garage. We'll have to take notice of that. But Chad Schilling on the outside of him.
And in 17th position in the 5 car, Bill Schoonover on the outside in 18th position, the 91 of Jeff Eden.
And an unusual starting point for Landon Huffman, 19th. Outside of him, R.J. Williams in the 21.
And it doesn't look like Landon even qualified tonight, so I'm not sure what was going on there. But to bring up the rest of the field tonight, guys, the 09, Greg Netherwood, he'll be starting in the 21st position on the inside. Outside him, Ed Williams Jr. Rounding out your field tonight is Patrick Hahey, Adam Roberts, Joseph Hayes, Keith Brooks, and I'll tell you what, as these guys get fired up and get ready to roll here, Mike.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, yeah, just got word back from Guy Snyder that he will actually start this one from pit road. He'll probably start from the tail end. Had to pull it into the garage area, unknown why, but he is back out on the track in the pit road. He will be starting 25th, 26th tonight. So.
Now, you know, everybody behind Landon Huffman, or actually everybody behind Jeff Beaton up here in 18th position, guys. Huffman, Williams, Netherwood, all these guys all the way back to the back row elected not to qualify here at Richmond. So I'll tell you what, that's taking a big gamble here. Positions are usually pretty difficult to get here, you know, unless you can get them on pit road under caution. Now, the caution average running anywhere between 7 and 8, depending on the number of laps. Tonight, it's 160 of them, Cowboys. So I'll tell you what, just hang on to your seat tonight as we get ready to roll this thing out. But 26 cars taking the field here tonight at Richmond. 3/4 mile track, about 150 miles an hour going down the front stretch, going into turn 1. And like Michael was talking, some heavy use of the brakes tonight, Cowboy.
Yeah, these guys are going to be on top of their brakes the first couple laps here, JD, and you got to expect some patience, but at the same time, it is Richmond. We're under the lights, and these cars are looking good as the pace car is looking to head into pit road.
That pace car pulls off down pit road. Light goes green, and we are racing. I'll tell you what, John Gregorio gets a huge jump over David Lanza on the start here, guys. Kind of a lazy start for David Lanza in that 33 machine, but John Gregorio gets a huge jump. Chad Cole, who finished first last week at Chicago, sitting down here in 4th position. So that DeWalt number 17 machine, we'll see what he can do here at Richmond tonight.
Yeah, it looks like the front 5, 6 are starting to settle out. I'm looking back here in 16th position with Landon Huffman as he's working his way up towards the front. He just passed Jeff Eden, and now he's looking on the back door of Doug Roth and the 5 of Bill.
Now, talking to some of these drivers down here, I spent a little bit of time with Chad Cole earlier in the garage down here, asking him, getting his thoughts about the track tonight, and he's saying tight off of turn 4 here. He doesn't think that fuel is going to be an issue tonight. Possibly later on when we get you know, down to the final laps here. But who's going to know what's going to happen then? But he's not looking for anything unusual as far as fuel goes. He thinks there'll be plenty of cautions in between, so that you know, they won't have to worry about it. But I tell you what, looking sharp right now. Bill Schoonover for position in 14th position though. As actually he's gonna let the 43 of Doug Roth get past him. So Schooner gets one, move him back one, and Doug Roth gets one on him as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about the turn 4 there, JD. I talked to Eric Arnold before the race, and he said the exact same thing, that the cars are just tight off of turn 4, and if you can keep that right front fender decently in shape, then you can probably make it to the end of this race. But that's going to be a big key, is can you keep the car off the wall.
Gaggle cars up here in 7th position in front of John Higman Jr. It's going to be the 10 of John Abbott up here. John Abbott looking strong in Chicago last week, having issues late in the race, but Abbott letting a number of them go past here. And of course, John Higman Jr. in that 6th machine got a couple of positions there, Mike.
Yeah, a couple of cars battling it. Still early on. We got a car in the apron a little bit. 69 of Joseph Hayes got a little wiggly going into 1, and that's probably victim of hitting the brake a little too hard as these cars are trying to settle themselves out here, but still early on.
Yeah, you know, when these guys run these brake biases here in these cars on a short track, usually I used to set it up to a little bit heavy on the back end to help that car kind of rotate around a little bit, but I know they got that knob in between the seat up there, and you know, they can adjust the brake bias on these machines here tonight. But I tell you, look for some bright red rotors happening at Richmond. 3/4 mile track. It's a fast little track, Mike, but it's also a brake-eating track as well. But I tell you, watching John Abbott here, he looks like he's having some early difficulties in that 10 machine, 8th position here, guys. Oh, is that the
Jay Horton?
Right
Jay Horton hit the wall. Jay Horton in 3 hit the wall there. Jay Horton, the 83 truck, 83 car. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I tell you what, David Lanza going for the lead up here past John Gregorio, and actually David Lanza took the lead from as they're swapping it back and forth. Chad Cole moves up a notch, Cowboy. I tell you what, they are absolutely getting it on. 11 laps in the books. Oh, the 17 gets wicked loose coming off the turn down the backstretch. The 33 David Lanza hunting down that 17 machine. But I tell you what, they're duking it out up here in front, back and forth, guys.
Yeah, Chad Cole got a little wiggly coming out there, but settled it back down, took the lead over from Gregorio, and now that opened the door for David Lanza to sneak back under John there from where he had taken the lead from him earlier, as he runs second and John third now.
Now, Chad Cole up in the front of the pack up here at Cowboy. I tell you what, he led 61 laps at Chicago last week, so we'll see what he can do at Richmond this week, as David Lanza now hunting down Chad Cole, about 4/10 off. But John Gregorio in that 23 machine not giving it up that easy. He's staying right on the bumper of that 33 machine.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if John can put us in the car with John Gregorio, we'll try to get a lap of what it looks like at Richmond here, about how hard these guys get on the brake. You'll probably see that right front dip down as they apply the brake, and you'll probably see the car probably coming out of the turns like it wants to rise up. So it's an interesting track, a fun track to race. I know these guys are loving it, and with John breathing down David's neck, as David gets a little loose there, but I know this is a very fun track for these guys.
You bet. And I tell you what, why don't we move it all the way back here? I want to go all the way back to, I believe it's going to be in 24th position back here, guys, the number 65 car. I want to give a shout out to Ed Williams Jr. down here, big time ETV Live fan. Got ETV Live all over the back end of that car, and it's always good to see the company logo out here on these cars, guys. Oh, as he takes the piece of the wall going into turn 1 there, Mike.
Yeah, I was going to say, he looked like he gave the guy room to get by, but probably just a little bit too much there. Jay Horton, by the way, and Chad Schilling, who are both teammates, they're running 13th and 14th right now, the 18 and 83 respectively car. They've actually been running together, JD, for the last probably 6 or 7 laps. So teammates here at Richmond, it's kind of like Talladega's. We got one in the inside turned around.
Chalmers Parker, guys, caution coming out. It's going to be the number 41 car, and that's going to be Chalmers Parker. I just caught that. We'll roll it back here, and it looks like it might have been that banana peel there, John, coming out of the turn. Looks like it's going to be coming off of turn 2, and just takes it on around. And looks like just a light tap on the inside wall. Let's throw it on down to John for the E-wind.
Now let's see what happens here, guys. I was wondering when we was going to get our first caution, and here it comes. And he's going to come through this corner. These guys seem like they're doing a pretty good job here. A lot better than these trucks were doing last night. It looks like he just grabbed a little bit of that apron with that left front wheel. Sometimes that's a no-no. It just kind of offsets that car just a little bit. And he says that's right on the back of his spoiler, guys. And that's right.
And that's right. I tell you what, go for that little bit of an E-ticket ride coming off turn 2 down there, guys. That's going to be the first one of the night. And Michael, you know, that yellow line down there for a reason. That's no man's land on the right side of that thing, so we're on the left side of that thing. So you want to be careful when you get down that close to it.
Yeah, Chalmers did an excellent job of recovering from that self-spin there. Just tagged the wall just a little bit, but probably no damage. And I got to say, he was running 5th position. He did not go a lap down, but he will be starting 23rd on the green here, as a lot of cars are starting to do their pitting.
You've had a lot of cars coming down pit road, just about everybody down here, and we'll keep an eye on that situation. And I think for the most part, there's going to be 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats for everybody. I don't know that I'd even try a 2-tire change here at Richmond. If I had the opportunity, it'd be 4 tires and fuel. But I'll tell you what, first caution here at Richmond, that's time for us to go ahead and check out that buffet table back here in the back. So we're going to go ahead and step away. You're watching live ETV Live, Cowboy, Richmond Speedway Real Sim Racing League, so don't wander off. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, Richmond Speedway Real Sim Racing League. Working our first caution here up on lap 1741, going for a little bit of an e-ticket ride down there. But we got more news happening down on pit road. Why don't we go ahead and take it on down to Michael Keaton.
Yeah, one of the Huffman teammates in that 21 machine of R.J. Williams took a gamble, took 2 tires, right sides only. Tried to beat Chad Cole, the leader, out of the pits. Didn't work out. Sped a little bit. Had to go the end of the field, but he did come back in and take 4 tires that last time. So a little bit of strategy early here at Richmond.
You bet. I'll tell you what, Leon, look some of these pit times up here, guys. I want to say John Gregorio, maybe everybody else's pit crew ought to stand up and take notice or take some training, take some lessons. John Gregorio's pit stop, Cowboy, 11.4 seconds. I believe, Mike, we call that lickety split here at ETV.
Yeah, JD, 11.4 is really fast. Go ahead and give that crew a bonus.
You bet. I'll tell you what, getting ready to take the green flag one more time. Chad Cole's going to pick one up here tonight. John Gregorio, he'll be starting on the outside here as we go green flag coming off the turn. Cole gets a good jump over Gregorio here, and David Lanza still hanging out here in the top 5. He's running in 3rd. Jeff Addison putting the pressure on up here on the top in that 94 machine. John Higman Jr. showing his stuff here tonight too, guys, up inside the top, or working to get up into the top 5.
Yeah, it kind of looked like David Lanza maybe he spun the tires a little bit as John got into the wall there a little bit going into 2 there. David really putting the pressure on John early. I wonder if there's a rivalry there, JD.
You think? I tell you what. You know, 160 laps here at Richmond tonight, 25 of them in the books already here, guys, so tons of racing left to go here at this 3/4-mile short track. But they're racing up front here like it was the absolute last lap. 33 machine, David Lanza putting a lot of pressure on Gregorio up here, guys. Let's move on back through the field here a little bit. Eric Arnold in 6th position back here. And we want to say hello to Kayla. She's over there in the chat room watching all this happen out there. I believe that's going to be Mrs. Arnold, if I'm not mistaken, guys.
Soon to be.
1 year's time.
Well, isn't soon to be and is kind of the same thing anyway?
Yeah, I tell you what, Kayla's here every weekend supporting Eric. It'd be nice if Eric can get up there, get a win for himself. I'm sure Kayla would love it. I'm sure Eric would love it. So I'm pulling for that Navy car. He is in the service, so it's kind of neat to see those guys running.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, all the way from Costa Rica, our little buddy Christian, he's over there in the chat room too. Good evening to you. Haven't seen you in a while. And of course, Mech Arm, that's going to be our buddy from the nation over there. That's going to be Danny Gabaldon in the house watching tonight. Pineapple 2143 just logging in here. So it's good to have you guys along for the ride here tonight. But fast action happening here in Richmond, guys. 29 laps in the books, Mike, and things are heating up here in the front.
I tell you what, JD, I just saw Jeff Eden in that Eden Construction paint scheme of the 91 fall victim to one of those coming out of, or tight off 4, hitting the wall. It looked like he was a little tight afterwards. Don't know if he's got that car settled back down, but again, this is short track racing at its best, JD.
We're watching Chad Schilling and looks like Chad Schilling and Joey Gattina going after it here, coming off of turn 4 here. Looks like Joey's going to get to position on the 18, but here comes the 27 of. I think that's Chad Schilling down here, or Guy Snyder down here in that 27 machine going past the 18, coming off of turn 4 or turn 2. But yeah, you're right. You got to keep an eye on turn 4 guys when they come off that turn down there. And as these cars, you know, they start wearing the tires down on this thing, starts getting tight, things start pushing, and that wall comes up real quick. And it's usually right there just before the flag stand is usually where they're going to take kind of a big chunk out of the wall here after a while. But Chad Schilling up here in this 18 machine looking pretty good, as the 88 of Adam Roberts looking to try to get position on the 18. A caution coming out the second time here, guys. Caution on track is, and I'm hearing it's going to be the 85 machine, Nathan Bowers going around, and I think, John, it's going to be another one of those banana peel things. I think it's in the same place that we saw the 41 right off of turn 2, John.
Yeah, these cars are, and let's see if it's off the apron again, guys, like we've seen last time. And this actually going to be coming off the corner instead of through the middle, and oh wow, he's going to take a massive lick to the nose of that 85 full throttle machine, JD. He's going to take a really, really nasty lick here, and this is a short track. You could take a little bit of nose damage, but I think that's a little bit more than what he requires.
Yeah, you know, Michael, I'm sure he probably pushed the radio back in a couple of inches on that hit, but no safer barrier on the inside walls here at Richmond. But he also takes. It looks like he might have gotten hit by another car here. Watching it again here, trying to roll it backwards, and I think he might. I think the 10 might have got him just a little bit.
Yeah, I tell you what, Nathan there, I think these cars, you can get one tire down there, but again, you know, he fell victim to that apron. But I think when you get 2 down there, it's just like that car just becomes so wicked loose. Nathan almost saved it, but he might have did a little bit of overcorrectness in the car there. You could see him just trying to steer it away from that wall, but wasn't able to. So tough break for Nathan there. He'll have a lot of damage to try to fix.
Yeah, and guys, we really want to start promoting this, JD, is ETV Bash coming up at Chicagoland Speedway for all the ETV guys, and a lot of our fans going to head up to Chicagoland Speedway for the ARC and the truck race.
There you go. I tell you what, that sounds like a whole lot of fun. What's the date on that again?
You know, I didn't do my homework, JD. I think it's the last weekend in July, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Tell you what, we'll get some more information up over at the home site, etv-eplay.net, and get that out. But, Michael, what do you got, bud?
Tell you what, JD, Eric Arnold in that Navy machine, John Higman Jr. taking right sides only, leaving Chad Cole starting 3rd on the next restart.
You know, 36 laps in the books, so a lot of racing. I guess if you're going to chance 2 tires, it would be now. But I am definitely old school, Michael. If it was left up to me, Mark Martin theory, 4 tires and fuel, dude. Anytime I can get them. But I'll tell you what, Eric Arnold taking a big risk here with Higman Jr. Chad Kroll has been looking strong here all night, guys. And, you know, but so has Gregorio. Gregorio starting on the pole here at Richmond. Chad Cole starting in the 2nd row. But I tell you what, these guys have been duking it out up here the first half of this race, you know, from the get-go. So it'll be interesting to see what Arnold and Higman has for the guys in behind them.
Yeah, I tell you what, they got these cars set to the gills here, and these cars look really nice under the lights. I can't express enough how good these cars look on the ETV broadcast machine there. But I know these guys are wanting to put a show on for the fans, and I think for the most part they're getting the job done.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, something else that we want to talk about too. If you like dirt, Mike? You like
Yeah, I
to play
love
in the
dirt, JD. Yeah, I love it.
You like to play in the dirt, dude?
Little
I'll tell
bit.
you what. You know what? We got some dirt coming our way. We got dump trucks full of dirt coming our way. In fact, we got semi trucks full of dirt coming our way, and that's all going to happen on May 30th and 31st from Eldora Speedway, right here live on ETV Live. Dirt TV Live going to launch a dirt racing channel here at ETV Live, and I'll tell you, we're working with Sim Dirt Late Model League, and it's going to be called the Sim Dirt Late Model Dream from Eldora, May 30th and 31st. And I'll tell you, you don't want to miss that action as we get green flag racing here at Richmond once again. Eric Arnold picking it up with John Higman up here in the front. Chad Cole, David Lanzik, Gregorio still hanging out here in the top 5. And looks like they're mixing it up pretty good. 75, Landon Huffman trying to get his machine up front. That's your points leader in that 75 car, putting the pressure on the 23 Gregorio up here in front of him.
Yeah, again, got to mention the 2 guys running up front only took right sides. I believe Chad Cole on back took 4 tires, so it'll be interesting to see how much tire falls off as Eric Arnold falling victim from John Higman Jr. into 3.
Going for the lead, and I tell you, 47 car up on the high side up here. Higman Jr. is going to get it from him as here comes Chad Cole. Chad Cole for position, move him up 1 notch. And I'll tell you what, these guys have been after it all night long from the green flag, Cowboy.
Tell you what, they make Richmond under the lights look like a Friday night local round track racing, don't they, JD?
Yeah, I tell you what, if this isn't some exciting racing happening here tonight, as caution coming out here again for the 3rd time. See if we can roll it around here. And I'm hearing it's going to be the 5 car, guys. Bill Schoonover, and that's going to be back here off the apron again, guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, another possible victim to the apron there, John. What do you think?
Yeah, let's cue this up again, guys. These guys trying to do everything they can to get the tightness off this car, and dipping that left wheel below the apron gets it there, but sometimes it gets a little too loose and off.
Baby tapped it.
MTCO Communications, dude, I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contract, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty, do it with R-Factor, Arca Sim Racing, dude. I'll tell you what, $49 a month, no better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers. Hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. All right, then I'll tell you what, a little minor hiccup here in the booth. I sent a couple of guys downstairs, Mike, to go down and kick that old generator down there and see if we can get it fired back up. But in the meantime, just working off of caution number 3 here, came on lap 41. The 5 of Bill Schoonover taking a little bit of an e-ticket ride coming off of turn 2 down there. And pretty much the same place we've been seeing that action happen here all night.
Yeah, I tell you what, they did 3 cautions so far, I believe. 3 cautions the exact same way, falling victim to that treacherous apron.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I still got to hire a secretary to help take some notes up here in the booth. I still can't remember who that was that brought caution number 2 out here tonight. But, you know, they seem to be happening in the same place, same issue. Guys are getting those tires down across that apron line coming off turn 2. And it's pretty much no man's land down there. That yellow line's there for a reason. And, you know, they're paying the price for getting across it. As the pace car heads down the backstretch, and they'll come off of turn 4 for the last time here. Pace car will make that hard left-hand turn and go down pit road. That's going to put John Higman Jr. in that 60 machine out in front this time. He'll be picking up his first green flag of the night as the flagman sticks it up in the air. Kind of a lazy start for Higman. Chad Cole right in behind him, or behind him up on the top side up here. 47 car of Eric Arnold on the bottom here worked his way up to the front with a 2-tire change. The last caution out as Landon Huffman now putting the pressure on, going after the position here on the 47 before we even get the first one in Cowboy. Landon Huffman looking for 3rd position here over the 47 machine.
I tell you what, these guys are duking it out as Landon Huffman moves into 3rd. Chad Cole banging on the back door, John Higman Jr. as they go into 3.
David Lanza and 23 side by side here, coming off of turn 2 here, heading down the turn 4, heading down the front stretch here, guys. But looks like David Lanza going to give it up to the 23 machine. But I tell you, you know, you got to get the positions early here. You know, I imagine all these guys are counting on cautions at one time or another, so, you know, trying to get as many positions as possible. But let's put the camera over here on 10th position, the 76 machine. Keith Brooks Jr. having some problems after that last caution. And I tell you, he had to get out of the throttle real quick here about a lap ago, staying up here on the top side, fighting a tight car up here as he lets him go almost 3 wide, getting past him here. 44 back here in the back to 76 and 41. I tell you what, I think we call this a gaggle of cars, Michael.
I tell you what, these guys, is it 10 to go or 5 to go? I tell you what, I love Richmond. I love how these guys race each other. They're clean, but they look like they're just having fun. You know, I mean, that's what it looks like, and that's what Richmond is all about, having fun, and they're having fun under these lights.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, the 76 machine back here, Keith Brooks, I'm keeping an eye on him. He's been able to get himself back in the throttle a little bit here, working with that crew chief, trying to figure out what was going on inside the cockpit of that car. But the 76 finally shoveling the coal into that boiler down there under the hood. But he's chasing down Jeff Beaton up here in 14th position, that 91 machine. And in front of him, I'll tell you what, it's just a gaggle of cars all the way to the front, guys. But up there in the front, Chad Cole, Landon Huffman, pretty much escaping the rest of the field back here. John Higman about almost 5/10, almost a half a second off the leaders up here.
Yeah, I tell you, Chad Cole took the lead momentarily ago, and John Gregorio, meanwhile, has been kind of fading back a little bit. I think his car may be a little tight. I think in the beginning of this green flag run, he probably ran the right front off of it just a little bit. But the caution's out, JD.
Caution coming out on the track, guys. This will be for the 4th time here tonight at Richmond. And I'm hearing it's going to be the 18 machine, guys. The 18 going around. So see if we can't get on that and find out what caused all that. That's going to be Chad Schilling as we roll it backwards here a little bit. Looks like he might have had a little bit of help on this one. Let's throw it on down to Magic Fingers for the E-Wine.
Yeah, let's see what happened, guys. Sorry, trying to get everything gathered back up here in the booth after our power failure. Looks like he gets tight coming across the start-finish line. Got the, looks like that's the 41 car behind him, and I think that 18 is going to check up a little bit more than what he thought the 18 was, and going to slam that Huffman Motorsports machine into the outside wall. Devastating lick, guys, and he's going to come back down the 5 car, narrowly missing him. A lot of rear damage on that 18 Huffman Motorsports machine, guys.
You bet. And watching it one more time, Michael, and you know, watching that 18 machine, he gets a little bit wicked. And what we were talking about earlier, coming off of turn 4, and it just throws you up against the wall. Usually happens right there near the flag stand. And that's exactly what we were seeing on the E-Wine there. The 18 overcorrecting or trying to stay off the wall up there, overcorrecting, having to get off the throttle. Of course, that brought the 41 right into him there. But caution number 4 coming out here at Richmond, Cowboy, and I imagine that'll bring him down pit road again.
Yeah, sure did. All the leaders came down. It looks like some guys are taking advantage of that short pit there and taking right sides only. I believe Jeff Eden in that Eden construction car was one of those guys who trying to take advantage. Guy Snyder's being shown your race leader right now. Not sure if he's going to stay out or pit this time by. And John Abbott, who's running second right now in that 10 Gatorade machine, also not sure if he's going to pit this time by or stay out. And Chad Cole, your leader, is showing in 5th position. So if it pans out, Chad will be back up front. If all these guys stay out, you can see that DeWalt machine start 5th position.
You bet. And looks like we got some strategy working out here at on this caution, guys. 58 laps in the books here at Richmond. Why don't we go ahead and check out the buffet table? I want to say good evening to Mama D, Mama Dragon. She's keeps our buffet table pretty much filled up full of good eats back here. So we're going to go ahead and step away, take a commercial break, check out the buffet table. So I'll tell you what, you're watching live, ETV Live. Don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Dig. Hard as you can go all the way to the wall, dig, back to speed. Tires look awesome too, bud, and then there at the end you were mowing down those guys pretty quick.
Alright guys, bearing down on your 20, hard and fast. You've been doing an awesome job. We'll get us one tonight.
Your car's pulled up. Flag, green flag.
All right, and we are back live, getting ready to take the green flag here. Guy Snyder's going to pick it up this time, guys. John Abbott in that 10 machine working his way back up to the front. As always, Chad Cole in that 17. He's been hanging around up here in the front pretty much all night, guys. John Hickman Jr. as they go 3 wide in the turn. The caution coming out here before we can get to the start-finish line on the takeoff here. So this is going to be caution number 5, guys, coming lickety-split right off of the restart. And I'm hearing the number 5 again, guys. Bill Schoonover, who brought the caution out back on lap 41. As we roll it back here and see, he might have had some help here. I don't know. Oh no, actually it happened in front of him, guys. It's going to be the 88 machine of Adam Roberts. John, looks like the 88 might have had a little bit of help from the 14, and that kind of stacked them up in the back here. But tell you what, let's give it on down to Magic Fingers for the E-Wine.
Yeah, let's pull us back, guys, right from the restart here. See what we can say. Oh, the 14 looks like he's going to get into the 88. Oh, wow. massive lick, guys, on that 88 machine. It happened so fast, but it looked like the 14 and the 88 just going to tangle back here on
I'll tell you what, JD, 91 of Jeff Eden, who I mentioned earlier after that, before that last caution, he did go back and pit. We thought he was going to stay out and start third position, but he pitted, and I bet you he's regretting that decision because he was called up in that wreck and has received kind of extensive damage to that 91 Eden construction car. So tough break for him.
Yeah, you bet. And I'm watching this. I'm watching this a second time. This is going to get a number of cars here, but of course, you know, short track racing. I mean, it kind of that's the way it goes here. You know, watching this, it's like I'm trying to figure out what was going on up here in front of the 14, the 88.
Looked like, JD, the 88 just turned right in front of the 14. The 14 was attempting to come under the 88. And the spotter must not have let him know that, and he just came right across the nose of that 14. Wasn't really much either one of them could do. I mean, I'm sure they were both looking forward as he takes a devastating lick. Oh, wow, hits that 5 car, the 91. Wow, this is a hard lick by 3 or 4 drivers.
Carnage on the front stretch. I'll tell you what, that'll bring him down pit road for sure, Michael. I'll tell you what, this is short track racing here, 3/4 mile track, so if you don't go home with a little bit of dent on either side of that car, you didn't do nothing here tonight. So I suppose you could say that's a little bit of a trophy, you know, going home with a few dents in your car.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that 65 machine of Ed Williams Jr., John, and that ETV live broadcasting, sim leader and sim broadcasting there, looking sharp. All 4 corners of that car, not a scratch on it, not a dent on it. Let's hope he can get to the front and get us one for ETV. What do you say, guys?
Absolutely. Always proud to see ETV live on the side of a car down there on a track, and of course Ed Williams Jr. has been a long-time fan here at ETV Live. But more fans sitting over there in the chat room. Mama D along for the ride. She's a big fan. She's been a fan for a long time. Of course, she helps us out, keeps us well fed up here in the booth. She's got her own hauler cowboy down there. I tell you what, it's got barbecues, all kinds of stuff down there. 4 or 5 microwaves, you name it. And of course, Pineapple 2143. I have no idea who Pineapple is, but hey, you know, he comes in every once in a while, sits here with us, watches the races. Good stuff, cowboy. Getting ready to go green one more time here, guys. Guy Snyder, he'll be picking it up again. And John Abbott, Chad Cole, John Higman, no changes there in the front row up here. But I'll tell you what, see if we can't get it back around the horn here and get at least 1 lap in before the next one comes out. And I'll tell you, these guys up here have been duking it out all night long, Mike.
Yeah, this is a real fast racetrack. It's John Abbott going for the lead. Get it, contact. John Abbott takes the lead over from Guy Snyder. Chad Cole right behind him.
Chad Cole going after the lead. Chad Cole going after the 10 machine up here. John Abbott, wrecking behind him.
Oh, the 27 car of Guy Snyder, JD, takes a hard lick. Looks like he had a little help as they went 3 wide into 1 there, John. You got it up on the replay yet? Wow, what a wreck.
You bet. And I'm going to roll it backwards on my machine here as John starts pushing the buttons. John, go ahead, bud. What do we got?
Let's see if we can capture this, guys. The action's really heating up. Is there 3 wide coming into the corner, and we know that's not going to work. The 7 actually comes down and rubs the door. I believe that was a 60 machine. And that 3 wide just didn't work, and they just pile up huge right behind them, guys.
Yeah, I got it pulled right up here, almost 3 wide going down the front stretch, and I'll tell you what, it is a tight squeeze in the middle there at 60. Just gets wicked loose, getting on the binders there. He's in behind the 17, but I'll tell you what, you know, he's trying to, I know it's going through his mind, he wants to let it ride just a little bit deeper into the turn, Mike. Then he's got to jump on the binders. That breaks the front end loose a little bit. and then takes him up into the 27 machine of Guy Snyder. So tough night at Richmond here, boys.
Yeah, and I tell you, JD, I think that Chad Cole had just taken the lead from John Abbott there. So I think go ahead and give Chad Cole the lead back, John Abbott. What do you think, JD?
Yeah, I think you're right there, guys. And I tell you what, caution number 6 here at Richmond. It was, I can't say that we weren't expecting them, but I don't think we were expecting them to come this quick.
Yeah,
but,
well, I tell you, go.
I was just going to say 68 laps in the books. We've still got a lot of racing left to go here, guys. About 100 more, about 100 laps here. So still a lot more laps here to turn here at Richmond, Mike. So is there such a thing as patience at a short track?
Well, I was going to say, JD, I drive these cars myself, and I'm telling you, there's just something about a night race. It just makes you want to go fast the whole entire time and race like it's the last lap. I mean, I would be the same way. This is a fun track to drive and race against people with. So I think these guys are just having fun with the expense of, damaging a couple of race cars here and there. But other than that, I think these guys are having a lot of fun.
You bet. And it looks like pretty much everybody's going to stay out on this one. So I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and step away. We'll take another commercial break. Check out that buffet table back here, some good eats. You're watching live, ETV Live, Real Sim Racing League here at Richmond International Raceway. So don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Hey dude, are you ready to rock and roll? If that's cool, then you need to do it over at HD Radio Network. HD Radio Network, 4 stations broadcasting 24/7 with everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard driving radio. And partnered with Nuff World Simulation Gaming, check out the HD Radio Network's Nuff Radio with Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude.
All right, we are back live here at Richmond with Real Sim Racing League. Big thank you to HDRadioNetwork.com. They provide the ETV Live with the pre-race entertainment, cowboy. And I tell you what, 4 or 5 stations to choose from. Check them out, HDRadioNetwork.com. But Michael, working caution number 6, came out to here on lap 68 to 27 to 60, and a whole host of them involved here. A little banged up sheet metal, a carnage happening right there on the front stretch. But this time out, Chad Cole gets a big jump off the turn. John Abbott in behind them, guys, and Landon Huffman fighting for position down here on the bottom. John Abbott, I tell you what, was duking it out up here earlier with these guys. Just can't hang on to it as Chad Cole just absolutely runs off from the rest of them.
I tell you what, these guys are really getting into it here, 3rd, 4th, 5th on back. I'm looking at Jeff Addison right now with David Lanza behind him. Jeff actually going for 5th position from Eric Arnold. These guys are really going after it.
You bet. 33 car, David Lanza. He's got Eric Arnold, and I want to say that's Jeff Addison up there in the front, guys. But 33 machine of Lanza looking for a way around, can't find it. And then R.J. Williams in behind in that 21 machine back here in 8th position. He's looking for a way around all that mess up there in the front, too. 2 wide back here in the back, but the 41 and the 3 car side by side coming off of turn 2 down the backstretch.
I tell you, what makes these cars so hard to drive, JD, is a lot of us really don't understand, but it's the fact that you got to brake so hard getting in, and then getting out, you got to watch the throttle. There's a lot that goes on behind that wheel that we really don't see.
You bet. In 12th position, John Higman Jr., guys, watching him back here. Now, he was involved in that last caution here a little bit ago, but John Higman Jr. Trying to get it back up in front here. Goes past the 44 coming off turn 4 down the front stretch, staying on the bottom here. I think he's looking for position up in front of him here. Isn't going to get it. He's got to back out of the throttle to get into the turn.
Yeah, other than that, JD, looks like they've settled out up here in the front here. In fact, on back to 13th, 14th position. They're all single file.
Yeah, I think almost like, cycling through the cars here, it almost looks like they just kind of settled in for a Sunday drive here a little bit. But this little batch right here, I'm looking in 6th position here, guys. Eric Arnold takes a piece of the wall, comes off turn 4, right there by the flag stand. Now the 33 is going to come along on the inside for the pass. That's going to be David Lanza. He'll get the position on the 47 down the backstretch going into turn 3, guys. But I was just going to say, these guys back here from Jeff Addison back, that's going to be a 6th, 7th position, 8th position back here. These guys have been just bumper to bumper getting after it here, from the get-go. So let's keep an eye on this situation. R.J. Williams back here in 8th position. He's part of that mix as well.
Yeah, I'm watching the same exact battle there. David, Eric, and R.J. and as Thomas Parker has actually closed in on R.J. a little bit as well. And ahead of him, Addison taking over Abbott's position for
as the 47 gets a little bit of contact, gets loose, gives up the position. 21 coming alongside there for position. 41 car going past him now. Eric Arnold having a little bit of difficulty there, but I'll tell you what, you got to get off that throttle, and that's the opportunity right there. Is now the 60 John Higman Jr. Making a run.
Yeah, Arnold looking real strong on the outside. I think he's got to watch out for 60 just in case he washes up a little bit. He'll try to pin him down just a little bit, but he'll sneak back in underneath behind him.
2x2 coming off of turn 4. That's the one we were talking about earlier. Spent a little bit of time down in the garage with Guy Snyder, and those guys were talking. Him and Chad Cole talking about the issues on both ends of the track, guys. Tight conditions coming off of turn 4. That wall comes up quick, and if you aren't hanging on to that wheel, it'll take you right on into that little patch of wall right below the flag stand there. We've seen that happen a couple times tonight already, Michael. And of course, the issues off of turn 2. Now, what we've been seeing down here is on the exit of the turn, getting those two tires across that yellow line down there on the apron, and taking you for an e-ticket ride. So it's happening on both ends of the track here tonight, guys.
Yeah, even on the straightaways, JD, I heard on the front stretch for sure that the way these cars are set up, how they automatically got that pull to the left, that you can actually oversteer the car, if that makes sense, on the front stretch there, because it's not as straight as the back stretch. So it allows for more margin of error, and these guys have even got to concentrate on how they handle this the steering wheel on the front stretch there. So that's interesting too.
Absolutely, and 87 laps in the books here at Richmond here tonight with Real Sim Racing League. Want to let's give Scott Brotherton a little bit of airtime here. He's in 12th position, guys. Now he missed the race at Chicago last week, and Scott Brotherton sitting 6th in the points. He's 36 points behind Landon Huffman, who's your points leader coming into Richmond here tonight. So Scott Brotherton looking to at least make up some points here coming out of Richmond, and so Brotherton looking pretty good. In the meantime, up in the front, Chad Cole being pressured by the 75 of Landon Huffman as Cole gets a little bit tight going into the turn, side by side coming off of turn 2, and it's going to be Landon Huffman to the lead, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been watching him for a little bit, like a lap or two, and I've noticed that Landon Huffman has been running. 17, a little loose there. Yeah, I told you, JD, about that front stretch. You got to watch that steering, and that's exactly what happened to Chad Cole there. Overcorrecting the steering just a little bit can cause that kind of reaction to the race car.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, he gets dangerously close to that yellow line down there. But the 17 losing the position to Landon Huffman. Huffman now about 0.3 of a second out in front of Chad Cole. But John Gregorio, guys, backing way off the throttle here for a while. 2.1 seconds. Oh, and he takes a piece of the wall. Gregorio in trouble here. And on lap 91, he's about 2.1 seconds in back of the leaders. So something going on with that 23 machine.
Yeah, he's been steadily getting slower and slower each lap as John Abbott and Jeff Addison and David Lanza, R.J. Williams all gaining position or time on John Gregorio. So it'll be interesting to find out exactly what happened to John. I think maybe earlier he might have tagged the wall a little bit, put a little damage on that car. But caution's out, J.D.
Caution coming out for the 7th time here at Richmond, and then we're hearing it's going to be the 18 machine of Chad Schilling for Huffman Racing Team, guys, as we roll it around here on the monitor. Take a look. And looks like it's going to be another one of those little solo e-ticket rides coming into the turn this time. This one's a little more unusual, guys, as he goes into turn 1 and spins it around. Now, let's send it on down to Magic Fingers for the E1.
Yeah, guys, he don't have much of a spoiler on the back of that machine, so I'm kind of surprised. In fact, I'm not surprised, and he's not going to help matters anymore as he waylays that outside wall with that rear spoiler. I mean, that thing's already laying down. The back end of the car's almost sagging to the track. Just very hard to handle these cars with no downforce.
You bet, especially on the back end, and Michael Keaton. That's you know, that's a little unusual seeing a spin take place like that on the entry of the turn. Usually it's going to be coming off the turn, as you tend to you know, want to throttle up just a little bit sooner. But tonight for that 18 machine right here on the front stretch, going into turn 1, right up on here on the high side.
Yeah, what it looked like, JD, he was actually going to give room for, it looked like the 43 of Doug Roth to actually go underneath him, because Chad knows he's struggling there. He's got a beat-up race car a little bit. But I think what happened, he fell victim again to that, the way that the steering is. He's actually having to turn to the right a little bit more than everybody else. So getting in that turn as hot as he did, I think caused that back end to come around on him.
You bet. And as we work caution number 7 here, guys, I tell you what, not a whole lot of takers down pit road, I don't believe. So one more time to the buffet table, Cowboy. 93 laps in the book chair at Richmond. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We're going to go side by live, so you're not going to miss one thing here from Richmond. Keep your eye on that little screen down there in the lower right. So don't wander off, Cowboy. We'll be right back. All right, then we are back live, ETV Live, Cowboy, Richmond International Raceway, and we're here tonight with Real Sim Racing League. Joey Gattina and the boys, I tell you what, you know, awfully glad to be working with these guys. Heck of a friendly group. We really like working for these guys. Been doing it for, what, 9 races now. 36-week season, they signed up for ETV Live, so a lot of fun. Helping these guys out. But Ed Williams Jr., Michael, being shown our leader right now, but it looks like he may be out of sequence here a little bit.
Yeah, he wanted to come down and get some bonus points there for leading that race. He did pit, JD, so I'm sure that'll cycle back through. Yeah, Landon Huffman being shown your leader now. Chad Cole starting on the outside of him.
You bet, and I tell you, you know, we were so caught up in that caution with the 18 back on lap 91. We missed everything down on pit road, but everybody, pretty much everybody came down pit road. Of course, this being a short track, I mean, it's 4 tires and fuel for everybody. So getting ready to get this thing rolling one more time. Landon Huffman up here in the front. Chad Cole on the outside. Gregorio doing a fine job staying up here in the top 5. Jeff Addison in a 94 machine finally made his way to the front as the green flag comes out here in Richmond. As we watch Huffman get a good run here on the restart. And caution coming out here. Caution coming out for the 8th time.
Oh,
here,
Eric
guys.
Arnold.
And I'm hearing Eric Arnold in a 47 machine, guys, bringing this caution out. And I don't know. Looking here on my monitor, and it looks like he might have had a little bit of help, guys. That 47 Navy nuke machine going down the front stretch here, and looks like it might be the 3 car. John, let's go ahead and figure out what we have here.
Yeah, boys, you wouldn't even let me go to the port house down there, but I'm back. And you're exactly right. Arnold's going to take a devastating lick on that outside wall, guys. This might end his night here in that Navy machine, but we'll see if they can patch that thing up down pit road. But he took a pretty hard lick on that outside wall.
Yeah, and it's going to be Scott Brotherton just getting into the left rear quarter panel of that machine right there on the back bumper, Mike, and turning that 47 car around right there at the almost at the entrance to turn 1 up here against the wall.
Yeah, just probably got there in there a little too hot and heavy. Just a racing ordeal there, guys. But I don't know. I think Arnold might be okay as far as the front of that car is concerned. It just looked like the rear took a beating. I took a look to the way that he was steering, and it looked like he was tracking straight down the backstretch. So that was a good sign. But you'll never know until he comes out of the pits there.
You bet. Richmond International Raceway, but you know, Michael, I want to bring something to your attention. This was long before you were even thought of. In fact, I don't even think your parents were even born yet. This is going all the way back to October 12th, 1946, cowboy. This is one of the oldest tracks on the circuit. Of course, back then, it used to be called the Atlantic Rural Exposition Fairgrounds, and it was a half-mile dirt track back then, Michael.
Did you say Atlanta?
Atlantic. The Atlantic Rural Exposition Fairgrounds is what this used to be called. And I don't recall what year it was, but of course it was changed to Richmond International Raceway, or RR. There's a mouthful. RIR. Tongue twister, I guess you call it. But,
and did it have the lights then?
No, it didn't have lights back then. No, the lights, I think it was candle power back then. But Ted Horn won the...
I think they had hamsters running on a treadmill. They got power.
Yeah, we're talking October 1946. Ted Horn won the race in an open-wheel car back then. But it's an old track, one of the oldest on the circuit. A lot of people don't realize how old some of these tracks are. But there's something else I want to talk to you guys about here before we take the green flag, and that's the VRC Mark II Virtual Racing Chassis. If you ain't got one of these, you're missing out. A racing simulation cockpit designed by a real race car driver, Bob Earl. He's a championship driver who knows what a virtual racing chassis should feel like. I mean, who better than to design than a race car driver? The design features a fully adjustable frame and racing seat, additional monitor stand and shifter mount sold separately, $349 plus shipping, cowboy. Check it out at BobEarlRacing.com. Very affordable for the average sim racer. And let me tell you something, ETV Live is proud to endorse exclusively this product because it is designed with the avid sim racer in mind by a real race car driver, not by some dude who walks into a bar off the street with an idea looking for a few bucks. But I'll tell you what, out here at Richmond tonight, Landon Huffman's still hanging out here in the front. Chad Cole, I'll tell you what, Chad Cole...
Wait a minute, JD. Did I hear you say that he sold 3,000 of these babies?
No, you didn't hear me say it, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you asked. Absolutely. He sold over 3,000 of these VRC Mark II virtual racing chassis. So if that don't tell you something, I don't know what will. $349, cowboy. BobEarlRacing.com.
I'll tell you what, Landon Huffman going to start this green flag run back with Chad Cole on the outside and John Gregorio on the bottom.
I tell you, these guys have been tangling up here in the front pretty much the whole entire night, and as the pace car makes that left-hand turn, and Landon Huffman going to get the jump on the 17 machine. 17 up on the outside, but I'll tell you what, he's got the 47, or the 94 machine rather, of Jeff Addison finally working his way to the front as the 17 stays up on the top, 94 down on the bottom here, trying to get up there and get the run on the 17. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. But the 23 machine of John Gregorio coming off the turn just a little wide, takes a piece of the wall right there by that flag stand as he hunts down Landon Huffman up here in front.
Yeah, these guys do an incredible job breaking down in the entrance of these turns, being so close together. As Chad Cole takes over second from John there.
Chad Cole moved him up one notch, moved John Gregorio back one notch. These guys are just absolutely duking it out as they both take a piece of the wall. And of course, in front of John Abbott, John's in 6th position in that 10 machine. John Abbott was, the 33 car gets a big piece of the wall. The 10 just narrowly missing. David Lanza taking a piece of that wall, but John Abbott just had to jump out of the way to avoid could have been a massive collision up there, guys.
Yeah, and I tell you, crew chief for Landon Huffman saying, Landon, focus on your line, hit your marks, don't look in that rearview mirror. I think he's pulled off to about a second lead. He's checked out, JD. Landon Huffman has checked out. Chad Cole running second, about a second and a half away.
You bet. And back here at the 33 machine, 8th position, he just gave up the 7th position to Chalmers Parker up here in the 41 machine. So Chalmers trying to get that 41 car up to the front. Back here in the back, John Higman Jr., Rob Bowling. Now here we go again, guys. Back here in about the middle of this pack, about 9th position forward. Just a gaggle of cars as these guys, they're peeking in and out. Jumping up and down here on the lanes here, trying to figure out a way to get past the guy in front of them. And I'll tell you, all the way up to John Abbott in that 10 machine. Now, John Abbott was all the way up into 3rd position, I believe, there about 20 laps ago, guys. So John Abbott putting pressure on, trying to get that number 10 machine back up to that front row.
Undoubtedly so. There are a couple of cars, these lead cars, running into a little bit of traffic already. Keith Brooks Jr. a couple laps down there. As he gives way to some of the faster guys on the track. But again, Chad Cole now has actually closed the gap on Landon Huffman, probably about 0.2 of a second.
I'll tell you what, they're turning just about equal lap times, right around the 21.5 mark. Last time around for Landon Huffman, 21.6 to Chad Cole's 21.59. So I tell you what, they are pretty much equal here so far, as Chad Cole has dropped to a 1.3 second lead behind Landon Huffman. But I tell you what, moving on back to the field, the number 10 car, John Abbott, earning a position here at the start-finish line from the 94 car. 94 fighting back on the top isn't going to have anything for John Abbott. Moved John Abbott up one notch.
Yeah, and John Higman Jr. trying to work his way up through the field behind Scott Brotherton and Rob Bolin. Of course, John Higman in that Cheetos machine in the 60 car has run pretty much the beginning of the race up front. He sits 11th right now, and look for him to move up a couple of spots here shortly.
You bet. Something else I want to tell you guys about. Check the schedule over there at etv-eplay.net. Tomorrow night, guys, back in the saddle again with the VSR ETV Live Nationwide Series from Talladega, Alabama. I believe that's going to be Michael the Convict Keaton's hometown down there. And you missed that action. So I believe it's going to be about 80 laps or whatever from Talladega tomorrow night with the ETV Live Veteran Sim Racers Nationwide Series. All that happens at 9 o'clock tomorrow live on ETV Live. So don't miss that one out. I'm watching it. Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, I'm looking forward to that Talladega race, JD. With the changes they've made to these cars, I've heard that you can't push as much as you used to. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see how Talladega reacts to the new changes.
Well, we sure know Daytona didn't last Saturday night, don't we, JD?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, you're looking at about a lap and a half before you got to take your car out from behind the one in front of you to get it cooled off. So in the past, you know, you could get 3, 4, 5 laps under your belt, you know, pushing the car in front of you. But now with the new build, we're looking at about a lap and a half. So and that throws kind of a different kind of a kink in things. But talking about kinks, I'm watching Guy Snyder down here in 17th position, that 27 machine, and he's having a real tough time hanging on to that car coming off the turns, guys. And no wonder. Look at the back end of that machine. It is just beat to death. But the lucky thing is, unlike, I believe it was the 47 machine, the spoiler is still stuck up in the air, and you got to have that, Michael, for downforce on that back end.
Yeah, a couple cars real bad beat up. 88 looked Adam Roberts struggling a little bit. The 14 of Joey Katina struggling a little bit. Jay Horton also with a bad beat up race car running 16th right now, struggling, part of the Huffman team. Also part of the Huffman team, Chad Schilling running 21st in the car 18. He's beat up a little bit. And 91 of that Jeff Eden Construction, who is running so good on the beginning of the race. Oh, as he loses it on the backstretch a little bit, but gathers it back up, going into 3. Wow. So, yeah, again, he's struggling real bad. And Eric Arnold's struggling with the beat-up race car.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if the next one comes out, it's going to happen right up here with Jay Horton and everybody in front of him, 16th position, that 83 machine for Huffman Racing.
Oh, and, no, JD.
Caution coming out.
Car airborne. Joey Gregorio, John Gregorio.
Well, that's going to be right up in the front with John Gregorio. Let's see if we can back it up here and see what happened. John Gregorio going around, guys. John in that 23 car running in the front up here. Gets airborne coming off the turns. Let's see if we can throw it on down to Magic Fingers John Westling for the E-Wine.
Yeah, let's see if we can. They were on about a 20-25 lap green flag run here. One of the longest of the night here. He's just going to come over out of that corner. He's going to get really loose. And he almost had it saved, guys. He came back down to the bottom, and this is where he gets into trouble. He's going to slide up, nail that 10 machine, and then that 21 car, nowhere for him to go at all. And I believe we're going to see him get a little bit of ATV air time here, boys.
Well, I tell you what, put a set of wings and a jet engine on that 23 machine, take a ride to Kansas, Toto. Wow,
yeah, I tell you,
what a
that
hit.
took R.J. Williams out there too, JD. I think blown motor the case for R.J. there. He's the one that T-boned him.
Hold on, I'm going to freeze this, guys, and do an oil change on that 23 while he's up in there.
You know, that's almost the same place coming off a turn 2, guys, and, you know, they just get loose. Now, you know, John keeping it off the apron, this is all taking place in that outside lane up here. Comes off the turn in good shape, but it just starts wobbling on him, and it's tough to get it back into shape again, you know, when you're trying to keep your foot in the throttle to avoid, you know, the oncoming stuff behind you. Of course, that didn't work out so well either.
Yeah, I tell you, JD, bad, tough break for Joey, or John Gregorio, running real strong up in the front. I think he was running second or third there. Third, I believe it was. And then he just lost it.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, you know, John Gregorio is third in the points. He's only 21 points off the lead. Fighting for position. Now, this is a points night for him and Chad Cole. He's only 1 point in front of Chad Cole. And, of course, Chad Cole taking the trophy home last week from Chicago. But I believe we got Chad Cole on the radio. Chad, this is JD up in the booth. Have you got us, bud?
Yeah, I got you guys. How you doing?
Hey, 9 cautions later, John Gregorio biting the big one down there on this last one. How you doing staying out in front there?
Well, just trying to survive. You know, that last run there, same thing just about happened to me. Just about lost it in turn 1 there. Gave up the spot. Then what you know, Gregorio went around on the back straight there. Gave it right back to me.
You know, you remember we were down in the garage talking earlier before the race, and, you know, we were talking about issues tied up with turn 4. and you know, your teammate down there, Guy Snyder, talking about issues off of turn 2, you know, the stuff side by side. We're seeing that. I mean, 9 cautions later, and it's happening just like you called it.
Yeah, there's issues everywhere, not just 2 and 4, to tell you the truth. I had my own moment off 4 there. I had to check up. Gregorio got into the back of me there, trying to avoid. Couldn't.
All right, Chad. Then I know you got business to take care of down there. Lights are off on the pace car, so we're going to go ahead and cut you loose. Tighten them belts up, my friend. Good luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Chad Cole in that number 17 machine out in front, and I'll tell you what, he's no stranger to that front row up here, guys, as he qualified on the 2nd row in 3rd position. But picking up the green flag, back to racing here at Richmond. Chad gets a good jump out here, but I'll tell you, John Abbott, he's been chasing down this front row up here for quite some time tonight, restarting in 2nd position. Jeff Addison back here in that 94. It took him about half the race, Michael, to finally get that 94 machine up inside the top 5, but looking pretty smart.
Oh, no, JD. Landon Huffman starting 11th on that restart there. Not sure what exactly happened to him, but if you take a look on lap 129, Ed Williams Jr. got into the back bumper of him just a little bit, and that may have upset Landon Huffman's car.
Oh, and we got one down here on pit road here. That the 60 of John Higman Jr., I don't think he intended on coming down pit road, guys, but the 60 in big trouble, stuck right at the barrels at the entrance of pit road there, guys. So that was not an intended pit stop, as the 60 comes off the turn and rolls around here, and I think he's going to just get a little bit out of shape, and he gets stuck in the barrels and can't get off the barrels, guys.
Yeah, and in fact, JD, I think John Higman Jr. as well as John Gregorio have pulled their cars behind the garage area and has called it a day.
Wow, tough break for John Higman, you know, and John sitting 8th in points here. So I tell you, that's going to cost them a few by the end of the race here tonight, guys. But unbelievable.
Yeah, John Higman Jr. running real good up front, running strong. And Landon Huffman also, got to find out exactly what happened to him. He's running 8th now, but like I said, was leading the race just a few laps ago.
Yeah, I was actually looking through my notes here. John Higman, this is twice in a row now. John finishing in 20th last week at Chicago, and I believe he was 5 laps down by the end of the night. I'm not even sure he even completed the night, but 2nd week in a row, guys. John Higman Jr. having some issues. There's a 3 going around on the backstretch. Scott Brotherton bringing a caution out on the backstretch back here. Scott Brotherton comes off turn 2, guys, same place as the 47, I believe it was, and just gets loose, comes off the turn, spins it around, goes for that e-ticket ride. Let's take it on down to Magic Fingers for the E-Wine.
Yeah, and he gets tight in that tight, loose condition there, guys. He overcorrects and plows that inside wall, spins like a bottle top. A lot of damage on the right front quarter panel of that machine. The tire's not down yet, but Bob's Bar and Grill, you better get the steaks on. We're coming.
Yeah, there you go. Get the old barbecue sauce out, cowboy, because we're coming. Scott Brotherton bringing caution number 10, I believe, out here at Richmond, guys. Tough night for all these guys, Michael.
Yeah, a lot of cars here getting involved with some cautions. A lot of, like John mentioned, tight loose. Battling a tight loose race car is not fun at all. You're having to be up on the wheel the whole entire time, and it's struggling. I mean, it's a struggle. It's a race within itself, just trying to keep up with the steering wheel. So I know what these guys are going through, and they're just falling victim to the old tight loose race car conditions. So it'll be interesting to see, though, as the race moves on, if they can try to get out of that stigma and get these cars fixed up and set up the way that they need them to be.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I got to go check out the buffet table. Get me a refill. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go side by live. You will not miss a thing. So keep your eyeballs on that little screen down there at the bottom. And I'll tell you what, we'll be right back. So don't wander off. All right, we are back live here at Richmond Speedway. Pace car taking the last time around. Lights are off, but I thought I heard the back door, that screen door, squeak open again, and I believe Michael's got R.J. Williams up here in the booth, guys.
Yeah, sure do. RJ, got a copy?
Yeah, gotcha.
RJ, question for you, man. Coming down the pit, trying to get a little pit strategy earlier on in the race, looked like it was going to pay off for you, but ended up getting speeding or penalty there. Is that what happened, or what?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I just dropped on. I was going through those cars right there, wasn't paying no attention to anything in front of me, and by the time I looked up, it was 48. I was like, oh, I know it's coming.
I tell you, RJ. What exactly took you out of the race? Oh wait, we got Eric Arnold spinning on the front stretch, JD and John. Eric Arnold, bunch of cars in the grass.
All right, and that's going to be caution number 11 here, guys. I'll tell you what, we'll get back to RJ here in just a minute. We'll roll this one around here and see what happened. Going down the backstretch back here, it looks like the 44 machine might have helped this one along, John.
They made a little contact right before that, guys, and wow, it turned into total mayhem after that.
Oh, wow.
All right, back to RJ here. RJ, on lap 123, everything okay? You feel all right? Because you took a hard lick to that 23 John Gregorio there. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I saw him get loose there off of 2 and go down there. I thought he locked it up and got it straight again, but with this new build now, it's just kind of hard to hang on to him on the straightaways, and I just ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, I tell you, a tough break for a lot of the Huffman race team here. I think Landon's running pretty strong in 3rd position, but for the most part, Landon and the team struggling here a little bit. Landon, can you RJ, can you tell us, were you guys real prepared for this race at Richmond, or did you just kind of, bring what you brought, or what?
I think it's a lot of bad luck more than anything. Chad forgot to change his steering ratio, so he's struggling a little bit with getting used to that, and it just seems like Jay's having some brake problems getting into the turns. The brakes aren't working right, so it's just a lot of bad luck. This is Landon's forte right here, so of course, he's where he's going to be anyway, so.
Yeah, I even noticed a little bit of damage on the back end of Landon Huffman's car from a little bit of contact from the 65 machine of Ed Williams Jr. earlier on too. So But like you said, Landon's he's still out there running third right now. Do you think he's got something for John and old Chad Cole out there that's been running in the front for the most of the race?
Oh yeah, I mean he's gonna put it to him. he ain't gonna let him get away.
Well, it'll be interesting to find out. R.J. Williams in the booth with us tonight. Thanks, R.J.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. I'll tell you what. That last caution is going to take out, or not take them out, but actually cause a lot of damage to a number of them down here. It's going to be the 69 machine of Joseph Hayes, the 18 of Chad Schilling escaping with minor injury. Eric Arnold down here in that 47 machine. And, of course, Ed Williams Jr. in that 65 machine involved in that last caution. I believe that's going to be 11 cautions for the night here, guys, on lap 41. So, I tell you what, the carnage here at Richmond International Raceway. And Chad Cole, Chad Cole hanging out in the front, that's probably the safest place to be, Michael.
Oh, it definitely is, JD. He's got that clean air. Doesn't have to worry about getting on the brakes as bad or as much as everyone else following him because no one's in front of him. So that clean air is really being an ally right now to Chad Cole, helping him out. So he's probably really enjoying being out front too here as the laps are running down here. 24 to go.
You bet. You bet. And yeah, absolutely, they are running out, and we are getting close here at Richmond Raceway. But you know what? Getting back to the dirt here again, we were talking a little bit earlier about. I want to make sure everybody knows Dirt TV Live getting ready to launch on May 30th and 31st, live from Eldor Speedway, Cowboy. You don't want to miss this late model action coming here on ETV Live. And on May 20th. We're going to be launching the road racing channel as well. So ETV Live will be, we're starting to become your, I guess it's your auto sports entertainment network, Michael, as we start introducing some more forms of auto racing here at ETV Live. So first one coming up on May 20th. More information over at etv-eplay.net soon. And then also on May 30th, 31st, the Dirt channel, Dirt TV Live, getting ready to launch as we get back to racing here at Richmond. Chad Cole, John Abbott, Landon Huffman out in front here. Now, John Abbott, we've seen this out of him before. He gets to the front and then late in the race gets in trouble. Huffman almost losing it coming off the turn 2, going down the backstretch, has to give it up to Abbott. Abbott slides up into the turn. Contact to 75. 75 spinning around on the front stretch. Caution number 13 coming out here at Richmond, guys.
Wow.
Wow is right. John Abbott, he will not give up an inch. I've seen this out of him before, guys. He does not give up an inch. And 75 comes up, tries to get it. Abbott ain't going to have none of it. Bad boy, what do we got down there on the E1?
Yeah, they just hard racing here, guys. It looked like John might have got a little loose on the top side there. I'm not quite sure, but anyhow, the 75 and John Abbott both make contact here, and Landon Huffman's going to be the one losing there.
And I tell you what, Landon real lucky after spinning that thing out, not making any contact. Almost come up, lost it to the right, back up towards the fans there, and everybody was able to get by him. But so I think Landon's going to be all right, other than needing 4 extra tires. I think someone just wrecked under caution, JD. Eric Arnold spinning out under caution here.
Wow. Let's roll that one back here and see what happened to Eric Arnold.
Oh, he hit somebody in the back.
Yeah, I'm rolling around here, trying to take a look at it here. And let's throw it on down to John. I think he's got it on the.
I think Kayla was messing with him, guys, on the telephone, and he wasn't paying attention. He's gonna come through here. Oh wow! It's like his throttle stuck. Wow! He just runs right back into a car up there and a hard lick on the inside wall. Once again for Arnold.
You're not supposed to text and drive at the same time, guys.
I don't know if that's illegal in NASCAR, though, JD. You might have been telling him something pretty interesting. I don't know, JD.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got his wife over in the chat room, and you know, a lot of these guys. Now, I tell you, you know, another driver that that we see every once in a while is James South. Now, James South drives that number 9 machine, and I know he's got one of them built-in DVD player, television set, the whole 9 yards on his dashboard. I'm wondering if Eric Arnold doesn't have the same thing, and maybe he was reaching over to change the movie or something, or what do you think?
I think he was actually adjusting his brake bias.
She's not claiming it was her this time, so let's hope it wasn't the other woman, JD. Oh,
the other
oh,
woman.
sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that on the air, was I? All right, sorry, Arnold. I apologize.
Tough night here at Richmond, guys, and I think I might have made a mistake earlier. I mentioned caution number 13. I believe we're on caution number 12, and my calculator ran out of batteries here a little while ago, so I'm hoping that I still have that old Abacus on the shelf behind me. I can get it down and start using it again. But I believe this is going to be caution number 12 here, coming out on lap 148. Does the lap start winding down here, guys? So we're getting real close, Michael, and Eric Arnold up there, or actually Eric Arnold in that 47 machine having difficulty. You know, he was doing a pretty decent job staying right with it, and looked like he was going to get a good finish tonight. But, you know, I don't know, man. What do you think?
Well, I'm taking a look at the lap times here. Chad Cole ran his fastest lap almost over a little bit over halfway at lap 130 with a 21.214. John Abbott turned his fastest lap on lap 2 with a 21.3, and then Chalmers Parker turned his fastest lap also on lap 2 with a 21.4. So I think Chad Cole may have this one in the bag as long as he can get this restart right.
Chad Cole certainly has led most of the laps here at Richmond tonight, but he also led most of the laps at Chicago last week, taking a big trophy home. So tough guy to beat as we get back to racing again here at Richmond. And John Abbott now being pressured by that 41 machine of Chalmers Parker as brake smoke, tire smoke coming off that 41 machine as he has to get on the binders, guys.
Yeah, got in there a little too hard. And the 18 slides up into 10. Oh, and they're fine, just a little bit of contact.
Jeff Addison alongside the 41 for position here, going down the front stretch. 41 fighting back on the top, trying to hang on. 94 getting wicked loose on the bottom. The 41 putting the pressure on the top, has to give it up. Backing out of the throttle, the 94 machine's going to get it. Jeff Addison, he's been working hard all night long. Got that 94 machine to the front up here as caution number, this is going to be caution number 13, guys, coming out here on lap 157. So we'll roll it backwards here and see what brought this one out. More carnage starting to pile up here at Richmond, guys.
And I believe this one will probably end the race here under caution, JD. I'm not quite sure, but I'm almost sure.
All right, and I don't know. We're still trying to chase down the action here and figure out what happened. But this is lap 157, guys. Scheduled for 160 laps tonight here at Richmond, and unofficial. This may be the finish, but John, what do we got down there, bud?
Looks like Ed Williams Jr. in that 65 ETV live machine. Boy, JD, all these cars just got wrecked this week. I don't know if we're going to be in business by Sunday night, but he gets dog loose here, and then the 27 in him. 27 goes around the outside of him here. I think you're going to see him blink out a couple times here, and I'm not sure if this actually brought out the caution or not. That 27 machine coming around the outside of him here, they're side by side coming into turn 4, I believe this is here.
All
And
right.
then he's going to come out of the corner, JD. He's just going to get really loose here, going to make contact, and it's just going to be mayhem from here.
Yeah, it's been pretty much mayhem all night long, Cowboy. I tell you what, I believe it's 13 cautions later here, and it is official. The race is over. We will finish under caution behind the pace car, and Chad Cole, he'll be taking another trophy home with him tonight. And Jeff Addison, Chad Schilling, your second and third place finishers. Chalmers Parker in that number 41 machine. Good job with him tonight, finishing in the top 5. He'll finish 4th. David Lanza hanging out in the top 5 all night long, guys. He'll be going home in 5th place tonight. And Michael, you know, they certainly piled up the sheet metal here at Richmond tonight.
They sure did, and a lot of cars banged up. If you take a look at that Chad Schilling 18 Huffman racing car, it's
Yeah, go ahead. Bring that crane over here in the metal scrapper. It's right over here, just a little bit more to the left, guys.
it's just you know, it just shows you that a lot's not needed to you know, you can have damage and finish well, as Chad Schilling's proven here tonight.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, you know, even though you come out of here with, you know, a ton of dents and scratches and dings on your car, I mean, it's short track racing. This is what it's all about. And, you know, if you go home with a car that hasn't been touched all night, that just means you didn't do a damn thing. You probably should have stayed in the hauler anyway. But I'll tell you what, it was a heck of a night here at Richmond. Nothing unusual that we haven't seen all week long here, guys. You know, with the number of cautions. So really, all in all, I mean, you just got to fight it out and try to be the one at the end. And of course, Chad Cole certainly earning it here tonight at Richmond. But as these guys wind down here, Chad will come down come off turn 4 here, and probably burn what's left on his tires here at the start-finish line here a little bit. And then while he gets ready to celebrate the win here at Richmond tonight, why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, the Real Sim Racing League post-race show here from Richmond. So don't wander off. We'll be right back. MTCO Communications, dude, I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contract, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty, do it with R-Factor, Arca Sim Racing, dude. I'll tell you what, $49 a month, no better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers, hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. All right, and we are back live here at Richmond Speedway, and I'll tell you what, it's been a night of carnage and bent-up sheet metal, but staying clean for most of the night is Chad Cole, and I'm down here in Victory Lane with Chad. And Chad, you know, start off here, you led most of the laps here at Richmond tonight, but you also led most of the laps at Chicago last week, so this ain't nothing new to you in that 17 machine.
Yeah, buddy, it feels good going back to back. Feel like I'm making a big statement about my racing, getting some confidence going, and I know Landon there. I really thought he had it, but he had a pit miscue and had to go from the back to the front twice, and fortunately, I think he got taken out at one point near the end there.
You know, Chad, you're sitting fourth in the points at 22 points behind Landon Huffman. And, of course, taking a big one home last week from Chicago, taking another one home this week from Richmond, that's got to make you feel pretty good, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, I had a rough going of it at Daytona to get the season started, but I'm going back-to-back here, and I'm feeling getting consistent top 10s and 5s. That'll really get me back into the points.
Were you worried? You know, you qualified third here tonight, second row, but did you have any worries, you know, starting behind John Gregorio and David Lanza up there?
No, not too concerned about them. They raced clean, but the only worry was back in the field, Landon Huffman back there. You know, he shows speed everywhere he goes, and he had some good laps in practice, and he's always a one to watch.
You bet. Well, I'll tell you what, you know, again, congratulations on the win here at Richmond tonight. Any shout-outs out there you want to give?
Yeah, of course. Barbara Racing Seats for sponsoring the Full Throttle Series, and ETV for getting us out on the air.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, again, congratulations on the run tonight. I'm going to throw it on down to Michael the Convict Keaton. I believe he's standing by with our second-place finisher tonight, Jeff Addison.
Yep, Jeff Addison, solid finish tonight, second place. Jeff, take us back to lap 155 when Chalmers Parker and John Abbott were 2 spots ahead of you. You running fourth.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I had fresher tires than them. There was a pit stop before that where everybody stayed out, and I ducked in and started on the around 8th or 7th. So, you know, I just kept it clean, took some time, patience, and I had some fresher tires there at the end to take them.
Tell you what, Jeff, sitting 11th in points right now. Last week you finished 4th at Chicagoland. Finished 2nd here tonight. You think that'll crack you into the top 10? How are you looking in points right now, you think?
Yeah, I believe it will. Not really worried about points, you know, unless you're number 1 and in the points, you're not really winning anything. But I do think this, you know, Landon got robbed a couple of times. I don't know if you caught it. There was one pit stop where he had to stay out, and just because the pit exit sign opened just as he passed it. So he fought his way back up again, and then I saw him wreck in front of me, and I was like, ugh. He really had that one, I thought.
Yeah, a lot of fast race cars out there, Jeff. Who makes it happen for you?
Yeah, I'm sponsored by NASCAR Hall of Fame. Don't forget May. We've got the Speed Weeks coming up. We've got the inductees getting nominated or inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then lots of stuff going on. So come on up to the Hall of Fame.
Always room in the Hall of Fame. In fact, Jeff Addison trying to make his way into it, finishing 2nd tonight. Going to bring it down to John. He's standing by with Chad Schilling.
I sure have. I've caught up with Chad Schilling. Pretty tore-up race car. I'm looking at it here, Chad. A rough race out there tonight, but hey, you got inside the top 5, buddy.
Yeah, I tell you, John, I'm ecstatic to be up here in the top 5. I can only imagine what this car looks like after kind of mixing up with Chalmers earlier in the race. I thought I was done and went 2 laps down, unfortunately, early on. So I'm just thrilled, absolutely blown away that I was able to pull out a top 3.
Yeah, I mean, the nose of this car, I'm down here standing next to it, and I actually kicked a piece of sheet metal that fell off that car, Chad. Do you think you're going to be able to rebuild this and get it back out on the track next week?
Yeah, thank God we've got, over at Huffman Racing, we got several backup cars ready to go since we tend to use quite a bit of them through these races, especially tonight. But, yeah, I think this one may be done for quite a while. We'll let the boys back in the shop see what you can put it back together for it, though.
And what was your thoughts coming into this race? Did you think it was going to be a rough race like it was, or what was your plans going into this race? Just ride it out and try and stay out of trouble, or what was your game plan?
Yeah, no, John, you hit it on the head. I mean, you know, it's typical kind of short track racing, but it's a little faster than like a Martinsville. It's a flat track. You know, you got some banking here at Richmond, which makes it a little bit faster, and just the tightness of the race is just really, it's difficult for some of these guys to, miss some marks or making sure they check up with the guy in front of them. So, my strategy is just to kind of take it easy and kind of run around the back a little bit. Hopefully let these guys kind of fall out and make it through it. But again, things changed pretty quickly and dynamically through this. As again, Chalmers and I kind of got into it a little bit early on, spun around, tore it up, had about 8-9 minutes of damage, went a couple laps down, and somehow found myself back on the lead lap in the top 5. So I'm pretty thrilled with how it worked out. Certainly wasn't as planned, but I'll take it.
Just give us a quick rundown of what your thinking is on the new update from iRacing here. I know that we've done a lot of broadcasts this week and a lot of guys struggling. Is this car starting to come to you now that it's been out 4 or 5 days, or is there still a lot of work to be done back at the shop?
Yeah, no, I think I like it actually. I think the 8 car feels pretty good now actually, and it seems the set that we had tonight was pretty good, which I was pretty happy with. It just takes a little while to kind of get used to it, and it's just like it was before. I think you seem to have to go a little bit slower and kind of let up in the turns a little bit quicker than you did before in the older model, I guess, and helps it kind of rotate in the middle a little bit so you can get off the turns and kind of accelerate down the straightaways. So I think it's just like anything else. We'll all get used to it. Just more practice takes better, and hopefully for better racing for everybody.
All right, there you have it, race fan. Your third place finisher from Huffman Racing tonight. Third spot, Chad Schilling. Chad, who makes it happen for you there back at the shop?
Yeah, well, like you said, my boys down there at Huffman Racing, we got several guys, including Jeff Addison, who's one of our teammates as well, so it's good to get a 2-3 here. Again, hated it happened to Landy, got spun out a little bit there. He's usually always pretty fast and up front. But, yeah, the boys at Huffman Racing, and certainly want to thank you guys at ETV. You guys do a great job for us every week.
All right, and that was John Wessling with Chad Schilling down there on pit road. Tell you what a night here at Richmond. And, before we get out of here, I want to remind all the ETV Live fans that if you like dirt, get ready, cowboy, because it's coming your way May 30th and 31st on the new and dirty Dirt TV Live here at ETV Live, Eldora Speedway. This is going to be the Sim Dirt late model racing from live action here on Dirt TV Live, May 30th and 31st, so don't miss that. And, of course, next week, May 7th, right back here with Real Sim Racing League from Talladega, Alabama, Cowboys. So we're eager to pack our bags and move on over to Alabama and get that one rolling. But tomorrow night, the ETV Live Veteran Sim Racers Nationwide Series from Talladega at 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss that. But I'll tell you what, you can check it all out at etv-eplay.net. So, from Richmond International Raceway for Joey, Katina, and Keith and all the boys over here at Real Sim Racing, Michael the Convict Keaton, John the Bad Boy, we call him a legend down there pushing the buttons for you tonight. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow night live on ETV.